Hello, today I'm going to show you how I made my video game. I personally used Roblox Studio. Here is my game, and I'll show you how to make something similar to it. First, I'll show you what I currently have in my game. As you can see, I have a stamina and health bar, and GUI. Currently, I don't have a image for a selection for each one in credits, but for now they are holder buttons. You can select, and the buttons will render it, but don't do anything for now. Here's my lobby. It took lots and lots of code fixing to get to spawn here, and that's because it's not a spawn plate and it's a brick with code attached to it. This is my lobby for my game, and when there's at least 2 players, it will start a match and you'll lose the GUIs, keep your health and stamina, but you will be teleported to one of these maps inside of the Roblox High School or inside of the Glass Houses map. It has random spawns, and the killer will spawn as a survivor and then can disguise themselves as the Smile Man when going to attack people. The reason that I say killer is because it's more of a similar term to how the game is played, but they don't actually kill. So that's what I have, and I'm going to show you how I made it. We can use a base plate or a classic base plate. For now, I'm gonna put in just base plate. This is where everybody will spawn, because it's a spawn plate. I used a part and attached code to it. So that's why I can spawn in my lobby without needing this. The reason I didn't need a custom brick like this is because of the lobby function. Now, most games don't require those, but you can move, rotate, scale, so you can make terrain with this if you want more blocky terrain. You can double click and copy, cut, or duplicate. I use duplicate. Then I would use move. Then you have a whole nother one but the same size, and you can do what you want with it. And then I use ChatGPT to assist me with the Lua code, because Roblox has its own code that you need to know how to use. I also used a window called the toolbox, and I would search up an asset like, say, yeah, let's do this. It's completely free, and it has its own scripts or code, and it's its own thing that you can get from online that's automatically ready in most cases. Some cases you won't get exactly what you want. So let's say I don't even want to make a map, I just need a fighting function, and I can do search up a map, delete these, move this up so when the map is in, it's not in the way. Now if I do this, this would be my map. I could put my spawn brick anywhere. Let's say I put it here, and then this would be where they spawn. As you can see, you spawn here, but I use the spawn brick, so if you want to use the spawn brick, you can grab a block. You're gonna need the properties tab. I personally like all of the properties and explorer tabs open. So if you go to properties, you can make it so it's locked in place and nobody can touch it or sound happens with it. You can also make it transparent by going to you find transparency and then increase it. 1 is completely see-through. Then you can do like 50. Point 50, and it'll be partially transparent. This is how I made my spawn brick. And then if you want to make something that shows up on the player screen, you go to starter player or starter GUI. Starter GUI, I didn't add a screen GUI, I added a local script in the script, but local scripts are mainly what you want because it runs directly on that player. Any player that joins will have that. And I would go to ChatGPT, find the code, and I'd put it in, and if there's something, I'd troubleshoot it, find out exactly what's happening, explain the problem. But you don't just want to use AI as a replacement for yourself. You want to really use it as a tool. So I got the maps, I added the spawns, I even went into part of my code and I went to my code and I would change it to exactly what I want. Like, let's say the running speed, I would change that. The walking speed, I could change that. It was quite difficult for the coding, but I'm learning and I'm getting better at it. And you could do the same. Server storage, it'll have the maps, server script service, the entire server, your health, your animations, and pretty sure your sprint I would change the animations, I'd find more code, I'd add code from online. And that's really how I made my game. I used a lot of online and my own thoughts on how it would work, and most of the time I would fix it correctly and it'd work even though I wasn't using online sources. So it's definitely possible to make a game. Just as a beginner, you want a lot of assistance from online.